All right, Shalom. This is part 3. We're gonna finish up. I'm just gonna play it straight through. We have about 10 more minutes I'm gonna cover, and then we're gonna comment at the end. In fact, I don't know. We might jump in.
You're not, like abusing someone, because that's what I saw. And then also just growing up in a household where like my parents used to discipline through physical abuse as well. So they would just spank us, like, and it's not their fault fully, because they got beat, and my dad didn't have a dad. His father died when he was 9 years old, so that I can understand. But it's just like, it's just so hard. It's just so hard. And it's just like, the thing is that I can talk about it right now as a rational, I mean, honestly, this is a little more progressive than anything that I've ever done. But like, I can talk about it here rationally, but like the emotions of it, the deep emotions, and part of how I feel like we as humans hide ourselves from ourselves is by rationalizing everything. You rationalize.
Ding, ding, ding. You know what? I think I'm gonna release the other Mewing Chronicles because it just needs to be out there. And I think I decided, and the reason why that line convinced me to do so is because it's literally what it says in the books of remembrance. It's literally what it says. Some people, they choose other righteous things and they reject others. Why? Because they have some sort of evil still inside them that they don't want to let go. Do you know what the book said that it was? Corruption. That's what it was. They still have a corruption. Right? And what do you do when you have a corruption and you don't perceive it as being a corruption? You rationalize it.
Rationalize. There's always you can always, like, your brain tricks you into thinking that you're okay because you're so smart. And it's like you're too smart for your own good, or you're so smart you're dumb.
That's because it's not your brain. It's Semihaza that's tricking you, deceiving you. Oh, why should you say sorry? You're right. What? Why wouldn't you act like this? Don't you know men treated you like this? Don't you know women treated you like this? Why should you have to respect them? They didn't respect you. That's rationalizing.
Because realistically, that doesn't matter. None of that fucking matters. It's the energy body. It's like the fact that I'm still stuck with these emotions. Like I'm still here, just stuck. Diotes. I mean, I agree with you. The feeling part is like the actual part, It's like, and honestly, I was really hurting yesterday because, like, me and Michael had gotten into some shit, and it is codependent to some degree. And so, and it clicked in my head about my dad, so I called my dad, or even before then, actually, it wasn't even that, but it clicked for me, and I was just like, damn, I'm really a fucking bastard, bro. Like, I'm like a bastard child. I felt like such a bastard child. And then I just felt like, Tablet doesn't give a fuck about this shit. And I just felt like, I was like, I just felt like a bastard. Like, damn near an orphan, And it's like, yeah, I have my mom, but it just always feels like there's something missing. And I could never explain it, what was missing, like, but I guess it clicked for me. I was like, oh, I see what's missing. my dad. Like, I see what's missing. Like, I keep looking for a man in my life. And I don't even know how to be in a relationship. I don't even know what that should look like. I'm like completely clueless. And all I have is like the TV and a few examples here and there.
Who are truthful enough to admit this? That you know nothing about a relationship. Doesn't matter if you've been in 100. You need to understand when you know nothing. That's the key to improving. When you profess that you don't know anything, especially if it's not working out for you. If you're still in negativity, or if you're still speaking in a tongue, if what's coming out of you is hatred, is rotten, then you haven't learned anything. It doesn't matter how much experience you have. I don't care. If a 3-year-old goes through something once and gets it, that 3-year-old is smarter than you in that area than you who's done it 100 times. If anything, you're dumber because you've done it 100 times and you still didn't learn. That's what wisdom is really about. Do you learn from your mistakes? And how far do you walk at before you fall again? That's what true wisdom is. It's not how many experiences you've been through. It's what did you learn from your experience? How much did you learn from a singular experience? Your experiences mean nothing if you haven't learned anything from them, but you can't learn if you're not humble. So you really have to identify what you've just went through. It's more than just going through things and learning one thing. You should be learning multiple things. So the Most High, he does things so where you can learn a plethora of different things in just one event. So you don't have to go through other events. That's how merciful he is. You think he just wants to keep, ripping your heart out event after event? No, you're supposed to do much more than just learn 1 or 2 things. You learn 10 or 20 things. You really sit down and examine what you just went through.
But I don't even have one fucking example in my family of just like something that lasts, bro.
A light to the world. That's what you're supposed to be. Are you a light to the world, or are you adding to the darkness? Is everything that you're saying coming out, is it love or is it hatred? Is it pride or is it humility? Which one is it? Are you working for Motsah or Semihaza? These are the questions you have to ask every time you utter a word, every time you think a thought. It's more than you just putting on some fringes and saying, I'm an Israelite now. I'm a king. I'm a queen.
I don't know. I mean, he's not like, my siblings are with him right now. I obviously have my own problems, but it's just like, he's not the worst. Like he's not, he told me, when I called him, he told me to come see him and shit. And so I'm thinking about going.
How would you know if someone's good or bad? I'm not saying he's good or bad, but she doesn't know because she's never seen one. How can you understand? How can you perceive the light if you've only been in darkness? No, you should just leave it as, I don't know what a relationship is. I need to go learn. I need to go learn. I need to go learn. Like, it's not like, well, I have an idea and maybe I'm on the right track. No, you're not on the right track at all. You have to really break down yourself to be humble.
To do that because, like, but it's just like, and then the saddest part is that when you get that marriage, like the way that I've sabotaged it is just so sad. Whew. Man, what more does the media need to know? What don't they know? What don't they know, man? What don't they know? They know Lauryn Hill has 6 kids, and they know Rohan has 1 million. So it's not that surprising to hear that one of the kids has daddy issues. Yeah. But, I just don't know I don't know how to. I just don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a start. Talking about it.
I guess it's a start talking about it. She's right. It is a start. But where is it going if you don't do anything about it? You have to talk about it to yourself. You have to self-reflect. You could talk about it with other people, but where's the solutions? You need solutions. You can't just speak about it and let it be done and keep doing what you're doing. You just start off at square one because you're not getting to the root of the issue. The root of the issue is that she doesn't understand her role. She doesn't understand the man's role. She doesn't understand the Most High. And if you don't have that, you have nothing. You're going to just keep starting over and over and over. You have anything to add, or should I keep going? Okay.
Talking about it and being honest. Honestly, just being honest. This is a start because, like, in other times, I'm superficial and I ignore it, and it's always, I'm good. When I know, like, deep down, I'm not good. Yeah, I'm gonna go to therapy again. I'm gonna go. I don't have a problem with that. I'm definitely gonna go. Because I don't want to be like this. You know, like, I'm not trying to be like this. I'm not trying to be fucked up forever. I'm not trying to, like, perpetuate a situation where my child has no father and I'm strong single black mom who has food, the jobs, and is the breadwinner, and I don't want to be that shit. I actually don't. Like, I actually don't want to be that, honestly. I hate it. I despise it. And honestly, it was the other day where it clicked for me because I was talking to my mom and I was like, and she was like, you know, talking about all this shit. And then I was like, damn, you sound like a fucking army general. This isn't like, you sound like an army general. Like, what? This is no. I don't want to be this. You're overcompensating. You're overcompensating for the fact that there's not someone protecting you. Like, no.
Boom. And that's what most women do in this place. They overcompensate because there's no one protecting them. And it's definitely symbiotic because, you know, the men, they don't really want to be responsible. But also the women run them out the house because they don't want to submit. But they don't want to submit because the man isn't in his role. But the man is in his role because Semihaza doesn't allow the men to be in their role. So it's up to the woman to understand that that Satan doesn't want the true men as the head. They don't. And as the brother just commented, we need each other more than ever. It's very true. We do. But that's why we have to understand each other's roles and we have to define them in detail. We don't define them vaguely. Define them in detail. What would I do in this situation? What would I do in that situation? We need to have healthy conversations like this. Otherwise, you'll start ending up like an army general like Lauryn Hill.
No. I'm not about to just pick up the strong, independent black woman. No, I'm actually not going to do that. Yeah, I'm independent. Yeah, I'm obviously strong. But actually, I'm actually weak. I actually am weak, and that strength is a...
How many women are able to admit this? Because yes, women are weak. They want to act like how strong they are. No, they're not. You're not supposed to be strong. We're supposed to be strong for you. We're supposed to be the strength. You're supposed to be the feeling. Why are you trying to be strong? Why? Depend on the man for the strength. Don't depend on yourself. That's why we should depend on women, you know, and express ourselves to them. Right? Only they can take our feelings and do whatever they can work their magic with it. But a lot of men, they give their heart to the wrong women and they throw it on the ground. Imagine pretty much a little child has his favorite toy and he wants to tell the world, but he doesn't want someone to misuse this toy. And he finds someone who seems like they're going to respect his toy, and he gives them this toy. And at first, it seems cool. Like they love the other person loves the toy. But one day they get bored with the toy, and they decide, you know what? I want to play with someone else's toy. And then they throw the little child's toy on the ground and break it into a million pieces. And now that child is stuck picking up the pieces, figuring out who I should give this toy to again. So people act like men aren't affected by Babylon. They absolutely are. They don't trust women either. So you have to give trust to get trust. You have to give love to get love.
Fucking front for how weak I am on the inside and how much I actually don't have it all together. And I'm not saying women are weak, obviously, but I'm saying like
They are, but they're not weak in their roles, but they're weak in a man's role. Same way how a man is weak in a woman's role. There's nothing wrong with admitting this. But are they overall weak? Not necessarily, no. Not at all. No one's overall weak. No one was made to be weak. No one was made to be overall weak. You have strength in your role.
I don't need a, like, no, actually, no. I don't know if that's the solution. I don't know if that's the solution. Like, actually, I do need my father. Actually, I'm here because I don't have my father. Because I don't know what it's like to have a man in my life. As a matter of fact, I don't feel safe around men because I don't.
She is about to lay some heavy drop. Let me go back.
Actually, I'm here because I don't have my father. Because I don't know what it's like to have a man in my life. As a matter of fact, I don't feel safe around men because I don't understand what their purpose is.
Boom. Boom. That's the problem. You don't understand the purpose. You can't understand the purpose if you don't understand their strengths, their weaknesses, and you don't understand your strengths, your weaknesses. That's why I gave that assignment, and it pained me that no one literally did it. No one wanted to read the family tablet and tell me what is the number one strength and weakness of the man and woman. It would have helped you greatly. But you know what? That's your own problem. But I'm going to release this video anyway because it's a very good video and people need to see it. It is what it is. But shame on you if if you didn't do it. Because this is to help you. I don't like doing shaming language. I don't know, oh, you didn't watch my video, I'm salty. No, I didn't have to do that. I do it to help people. I do it to give alms. So I did my job. I'm not looking for anything in return. But it's to help you. As the listener, it is to help you. It's not to help me. I get helped when I get edified, when people, give me interaction. But I'm reading these scriptures. I have the precepts. The only thing I really need is humility to the Holy Spirit, to Motsah, and ultimately to the Most High. So I just hope that you guys are on your correct paths. But gender roles are what's going to get us, one of the things that are going to get us back into the kingdom or the Garden of Eden, where have you. If you don't have it, you're not getting in. It's just that simple. Because you're not doing your created purpose. Your created purpose is to be complete. You can't be complete if you're not in line with the other so-called gender. So you're going to stay incomplete.
Like, I don't understand their purpose. I really don't. And not only that, but I definitely need to try hitting a punch in the back. I used to, but I haven't done it in a while.
So that's pretty much all I really wanted to share regarding this video. She doesn't understand the purpose. Why? Because Semi Haza has destroyed the gender roles. He's destroyed their purpose. He's muddied it. Why? Why don't people ask these questions? Anything that they're pushing, since they're pushing feminism, you think is good? Think is right? Think is holy? Women to be independent, being on their own. That's something that's good. That's something that can happen, but that's not good. It's not the same thing. So, sister, do you have any closing statements that you wanted to make?
Well, I was gonna say, because I was telling you earlier that because when women say they want to be independent, of course, it's just to feel their own insecurity that was brought into their hearts by Satan, thinking that they were lesser than the man in the first place. Because no one ever told women that they were lesser than men if it wasn't for feminism and everything else. But women are not less. There's nothing wrong with being a part of the man, but a weaker vessel of that man, because that's how the Most High made it. But I also speak to women who are in college, and for the most part, they don't really seem to have their head on their shoulders. They seem like they don't want to be in college, but they also think they have to do this. They think they have to get a job like a man does, and they have to work really hard like a man does. Even though it says what a man is supposed to do is work by the sweat of his brow in the field, and that's not what the woman's supposed to do. And I noticed that a lot of them have mental issues, because I was talking to this girl. She was like relatively, attractive, and a lot of men would be deceived by that attractiveness. But it was evident to me that she hated men, because whenever I would talk about like what I wanted, or for myself looking after men, she would think of it as in a negative way. Well, men don't do this, or men don't do. Basically, men don't look after themselves. Men don't take care of themselves. But men are not supposed to be the ones to take care of themselves. The woman's supposed to take care of men. So they have a very misconstrued notion of how men should be. And when you don't accept a man for his true nature, you hate men. Just how if a man does not
Bingo.
accept a woman for her true nature, he hates women. So if he hates a woman to be submissive and he does not appreciate it, then he hates women. And if you hate women, you hate the Most High and what he said. So, yeah.
Thank you for that. And that's why the Most High says, when you love me, keep my commandments. It said in the family tablet that women see their sexuality in tandem with what a man wants. And men see their sexuality in tandem with what the Most High wants. And that's so very true, because men, they base their manhood based on the Most High. Women base their womanhood based on men. So that shows you just in their wiring who is supposed to be submissive to who. This is not something that is it's a big guess, it's a big mystery, and it's pretty flat out. It's right there. You're just not listening because you don't like your role, and if you don't like your role, you don't like the Most High. I'm just gonna lay it bare. You don't like the Most High. You worship Him with your lips and not with your actions. But if you truly love the Most High, you'll be a woman like Ada, a woman who is submissive till the end. That's true strength, not whatever the hell women are doing. And what this young lady is doing, she's being very honest. And, she's a hell of a lot more honest than a lot of so-called Hebrew Israelite women. Because it's not about that. It's about your spirit. I'm not saying she has a righteous spirit or anything, but she has something that you don't. In this situation, that is humility. And that's the most important skill that you can have. I'm not saying any of this to judge or bash. I'm saying this to give you a kick in the ass, because this is what men do. I'm saying this with love, but I'm going to say it sternly, because women are really messed up out here. Really messed up out here. And originally it was our fault as men, because we didn't do our jobs. But you still have a job to do, and you can always be humble. Humility is free. And it doesn't matter what you've been through. You need to be a light to the world, right? If you can't be that light to the world, then it wasn't meant for you. But what is your calling? Something to think about. Peace be unto you. Selah Kala.